Hello YouTube, thought I'd do a quick video here. If you've been following my YouTube channel, you know I've designed and I'm testing as we speak a repeater controller board that does not use a computer, does not use Vox, plug and play. It lets you take any mobile two-way radio and turn them into a full repeater. Now this could be business band, this could be GMRS, this could be ham. Now when I say any, I'm using that word loosely because I cannot test every radio out there, obviously. I'm going to say about 80%, but I'm not even sure about that. I did come across a issue that I want to show you so that you're aware of it. Now, let me explain my setup here before I get into the issue. What I have here is my repeater controller board that I'm testing. I have a duplexer that lets me hook up one antenna, which is outside. I have a radio. This is going to be my receive radio. That's going to be set to my receive frequency. This will be a transmit radio in part of this video. This is set to my transmit frequency. And then in another part in this video, this will be my transmit radio, which is a handheld hooked up to an amplifier. Now what I found is that when you use a handheld hooked up to an amplifier as a transmit radio, it interferes with the receive sensitivity of the receive radio. In other words, there's some desense that's happening. I suspect what's going on is that the shielding in the amplifier may not be adequate enough to help shield it, and some of the RF is bleeding through and it's interfering with my sensitivity, my receive sensitivity on my receive radio. Now, one way that might solve it would be to separate these two further apart. I don't have the room for that. Maybe I'll try that in another video. I don't know, but that's one possible way of maybe solving the issue. The other maybe might solve the issue would be try a different receive radio, may also solve that problem. But I don't have a whole bunch of radios here. So I'm just kind of showing you what could happen. Now this could happen with a mobile radio too. It's hard to say. Again, I can't test every radio that's here. Now I'm going to show you some proof here how I came across this. And what I did is I took a camera and I have it pointed to the receive radio. And I did that so you can see the bar graph on here. So not only will you get a bar graph reading of it, you will also get a sound off it too. I got the sound off of here, so it will record sound off the receive radio. So there's 3 different video clips I'm going to be showing you. What I did was I drove about a half mile away and I went to a sand mine, went to their driveway, and I did my radio test. So that's how I did it for a distance. Now, when you see it say on the screen in this video, TX mobile radio, that means I'm using this radio as a transmit radio along with this receive radio, and that's my repeater setup. The camera will be pointing at the receive radio so you can watch the bar graphs and hear how it sounds. When you see it in this video say TX, HT, and amp, that means I'm using this as a transmit radio along with this radio as a receive radio. Again, the camera's pointing to the bar graph or the front of this radio so you can see the bar graph. When you see no TX radio, that means this is not even plugged into power, it's off. This is not plugged into power, it's off. We're just using this as a receive radio going through the duplexer for a baseline so you can hear the sound and see the bar graph for a reference point. Now, I also got to mention when I do the repeater setup, whether it's the mobile radio for the transmit radio or whether it's the handheld and amplifier, I do have my simplex turned on. You will hear that in the second part of the video. Disregard that. I left it on so I knew I was hitting the repeater, and that told me, okay, I hit the repeater. But the first part of the video is what we're more concerned about. I didn't fine tune the simplex because I didn't care. I just wanted to hear it just so that I knew I was hitting the repeater. So let's go ahead and go to the other screen here. And we're going to start off with just the receive radio, no transmit radios at all. That's what we're going to start off here at. So let me go ahead and switch this. And what we're going to do here is we're going to, let me go ahead and cue this up to the spot where you hear me. Watch the bar graph on here too. I'm going to get this to the spot where we need to be. And I'm going to not talk, and I'm going to let this play, and you're going to hear it. But pay attention to the bar graph. This is a baseline. This is just a receive radio, no repeater whatsoever.
This is a radio check by the SandMind. I also like to note this particular video file, the transmit radio is off, so there's no repeater function, and there would be no simplex because of that. I'm by the SandMind now.
Okay, so there's your baseline. That's no repeater, just a radio receiving it, going through the duplexer. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do next here is we're going to do the, let's do the handheld and amplifier. So let's do that. And I'm going to, again, I got the camera pointing to the receive radio. We're using the handheld and amplifier as a transmit radio. I think I said receive, but I meant transmit if I said receive. So I'm gonna speed this up, or I'm gonna jump to the spot where we're at the SandMind. Bear with me here. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the microphone I'm on, and you're gonna watch the bar graph on this too. It's really important. Now the second part of this video, you're gonna hear my simplex key up, and it's gonna peg the meter. Well, that's because the simplex is only 12 feet away. Just to let you be aware of that.
Mind the last
So there, as you saw it, my handheld and amplifier, the transmit radio, did not work well. It was killing the signal. The receive signal was dropping down. It was going back up. It was dropping down. It was just killing it. At the end of that video, you saw my simplex kick on, and that's why it was pegging it at full bars, but it didn't have any sound with it. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's causing my receive sensitivity to just be really terrible, or desense is another word for that too. Now, let's go to the mobile as a transmit radio. So let's go ahead and go to the mobile here. And now I'm going to fast forward this. This is using the mobile radio as a transmit radio. We're going to be in the same spot. Let me go ahead and fast forward this. Now here you'll hear my simplex still. The second part of this will be my simplex repeater repeating it. Like I said, disregard that. We're more concerned about the first part of it. So let me go ahead and get this. Okay, right there should be it. Okay, here we go.
radio check at the SandMind. I'm at the SandMind. Radio check at the SandMind. I'm at the SandMind.
So there you have it. The mobile radio worked just fine as a repeater radio so far. Let's go back to the other scene here. Now, as you saw or heard, my simplex did repeat it afterwards, but there is the proof that you need that this seems to work just fine as a transmit radio for a repeater. This did not play well with this radio. Like I said, maybe if a person is to separate these two further apart, that might solve the problem. Maybe if you try a different receive radio, that might also solve the problem. It's hard to say. Now, is it possible there may be some mobile radios that you might try to use as a transmit radio that might do the same thing? Well, that's a possibility too. Again, I can't test all these radios. It would take me forever, and I have no access to all these radios too. So I just want to point that out so you're aware of it. That could happen. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you, and have a good day.